good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Grant Cohn. This is Vish Kumaran, and we're going to take you through a therapy session right now. The Niners are 2-2. They've lost both their home games. They've lost to some teams they should have beat, and now we're wondering, where do they stand? What are the expectations going forward? And what does Jimmy Garoppolo need to do to get this team back on track, or is it not all him? So we're going to talk about last night's game. We have a lot to say about both quarterbacks who played and the onside kick and the coaching by both teams. But I think a good place to start this conversation is, Vish, is this a must-win game coming up for the 49ers? And if so, does that mean Jimmy Garoppolo has to play?
I think it is a must-win game, and I think it is just a must-win game simply because 2-3 doesn't put you out of contention in any other division. But when you're playing in the NFC West and you're playing the schedule that the Niners have to play, and you still have 2 games with the Rams and 2 games with the Seahawks and 1 game with the Cardinals left, even after next week, you have to be able to beat a team like Miami, who is thought of a little bit like a pushover, especially compared to the caliber of team that the 49ers are. So yes, in my opinion, it is a must-win. And to answer the second part of your question, I absolutely think Jimmy Garoppolo needs to play. Look, next week is basically, I think, going to be the most important game. It's going to be a turning point in their season.
Yeah.
They need the momentum of winning next week because the loss last night was ugly. They dropped to 2-3. They probably still make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they might be one and done in the playoffs and stuff. They need that big. They need to beat Miami next week, and I think they can't afford to lose to Miami without Jimmy Garoppolo. If you lose to Miami with Jimmy, at least you lost to him with Jimmy. If we lose to Miami without Jimmy and with Beathard or Mullins playing, it's not.
It's
ideal.
Like the season fell apart before you even started.
Right.
You didn't even get 6 quarters out of Jimmy Garoppolo before you are almost out of contention. Not because 2-3 is a death sentence, but again, let me just list off the games after Miami. After Miami, it's at home against the Rams, in New England, in Seattle, at home against the Packers, in New Orleans, bye week, in LA against the Rams, hosting the Bills. I mean, that's like 7 games in a row against playoff teams.
Right.
Finally, a game against Washington. That's winnable. These are all winnable. Then in Dallas, in Arizona, at home against Seattle. That's a gauntlet. That's tough.
Right. And even though Dallas is pathetic, that offense is still really explosive. And so they're going to be a tough matchup that way.
So I totally agree with you. Jimmy needs to play in this game, even if he's not 100% healthy. And I don't expect that he is 100% healthy. He has a high ankle sprain. That's a 4 to 6 week injury it's a 4 to 6 week injury. It doesn't mean you can't play on it. Patrick Mahomes played on a high ankle sprain last year. Quarterbacks don't have to run around as much. Theoretically, you can tape it up and hobble around. So that brings me to my question. What is a realistic expectation for Jimmy Garoppolo in this offense, maybe this week and going forward? Is he the savior that this team needs? Is he going to make this all look like 2019?
Look, he's not the savior because the problems extend just beyond quarterback play. But I do think he's going to make enough of an impact that we feel that as a group of people that are viewing the Niners, we feel a lot better about their opportunities. He just makes a couple extra plays a game, and he'll just do just enough, I think, for them to survive. Now, I do expect him to be rusty against Miami, and that's simply because he's missed 2 weeks, and he wasn't in a great rhythm week 1 versus Arizona. He seemingly found that versus the Jets and got hurt, so we have no clue what to expect from him. But the Niners are coached by a guy named Kyle Shanahan, and I expect Kyle to go deep in his bag and find ways to cook up opportunities for this offense to get big plays and move the football regardless of how the quarterback is playing.
Right. I mean, last year, what Jimmy's always been able to do with his athleticism and quick release is make up for a bad offensive line. He did it in 2017, like spectacularly. I think it's one of the main reasons he got paid. And last year, the Niners were fantastic. They've had pass protection issues. They worked around them with their run game a lot and a very quick passing game. Right now, it doesn't seem like they have the same run game they had last year, but maybe it'll come back. And it seems like the quick passing game could be there too. A lot hinges on the offensive line right now. And we'll get to that in a minute.